Why Arne Slot is failing Liverpool so bad? What's happening?
Pino on his right. Pierre-Emerick Pino.
It's Haaland. Haaland scores!
Obvious and clear that the wrong decision has been made, in my opinion.
6 months ago, Liverpool pressed like a hurricane. Today, they look like they're jogging through a testimonial match. Under Arne Slot, intensity has been replaced by indecision. And after 5 Premier League losses in a row, fans aren't whispering anymore. They're shouting, "What happened to Liverpool?" In this video, we will reveal why Arne Slot is failing Liverpool so badly. What's really happening? The shock at Anfield. There's something deeply unsettling about watching Liverpool lose. Because it's not just the results, it's the feeling, the energy, the soul that once defined the club. 5 Premier League defeats on the bounce have plunged the Reds into their worst domestic run in almost a decade. For a fan base raised on Klopp's ferocious pressing and fist-pumping celebrations, Slot's version feels hollow. The Dutchman came in as the next evolution, the man to modernise the chaos Klopp left behind. But what we see is a team stripped of its intensity, playing static football and showing none of the grit that made them European champions. So what's really happening behind those closed doors at Kirkby? How did a manager celebrated for his tactical brain at Feyenoord turn Liverpool into one of the Premier League's easiest sides to play against? From Klopp to Slot, a misunderstood transition. When Klopp left, he didn't just take his charisma. He took Liverpool's spine. Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Firmino were all gone. Milner, the leadership core, gone. Even parts of Klopp's backroom team left, leaving a cultural vacuum the size of the Kop itself. Slot, meanwhile, walked in with a completely different playbook. Slow build-up, positional control, short passing through lines. He destroyed the very foundation that made Liverpool terrifying. The high-octane counter-press, the emotional energy, the relentless running. And the dressing room felt it. Players who once thrived on chaos now look confused by calculation. You can see it in Van Dijk's body language, in Salah's half-hearted presses. The spark that used to ignite the pitch now flickers like a dying flame. And maybe that's the heart of the issue. Klopp's football was visceral, built on lungs and belief. Slot's is cerebral, built on geometry and patience. But this isn't the Eredivisie. This is the Premier League, where one missed duel turns into disaster. As one fan on Reddit wrote after the Wolves defeat, "We went from rock and roll to elevator music in one summer." That is true. The tactical collapse. If you understand, Slot's philosophy in theory makes sense. Build from the back, draw pressure, break lines with controlled possession. But on English soil, it's collapsing in real time. Liverpool's expected goals has dropped by 22% since last season, while their pressing intensity, PPDA, a measure of how quickly they win the ball back, has almost doubled. That's regression. Even critics started saying the team looks lethargic and toothless. The pressing triggers are gone, the compactness is gone. The players look unsure when to attack or hold shape, stuck between 2 tactical universes. In their 3-1 defeat to Brentford, Liverpool recorded just 2 shots on target, and that's their lowest since 2017. Against Aston Villa, they lost every aerial duel in midfield, and by the time they were hammered 4-0 by Newcastle, Slot's side had conceded 14 goals in just 5 games. The worst defensive run since Roy Hodgson's 2010 spell. And despite being backed with nearly £400 million worth of players designed for his style, Slot can't make the system work. That's just horrible coaching. Because now what we see is Ryan Gravenberch looking lost. Szoboszlai's creativity has evaporated. Even Alexis McAllister, so composed last season, looks completely clueless. Even the calm general Virgil van Dijk now looks visibly frustrated, caught shouting at his midfielders after another cheap turnover. Mo Salah, who averaged 4.1 shots per game last season, has dropped to 2.6 under Slot. It's pretty clear that Liverpool's best spells this year came when Slot reverted, briefly, to Klopp's old 4-3-3 pressing blueprint. But those flashes were short-lived, and mostly against teams that suited Liverpool's reactive counter-game. Even the home draw against Fulham, once a guaranteed 3 points, exposed how slow Liverpool's build-up has become, taking an average of 18 passes to reach the final third. The fans at Anfield could literally feel the tempo down. You can't build a title challenge on nostalgia. Slot wanted control, but what he's built is confusion. As one Sky pundit put it bluntly, he's trying to play chess in a boxing ring. The away day disaster. If you really want to see Liverpool's downfall, look at their away form. 5 consecutive away defeats, the worst since the Brendan Rodgers era. Once, this team thrived in hostile atmospheres, silencing Old Trafford, intimidating the Etihad, tearing through London stadiums. Now, they crumble at the first counter-attack. Their defensive duels won per match have literally gone down, and they've conceded first in 7 of their last 8 away fixtures. That's not bad luck, that's bad preparation. It's as if the squad leaves its intensity at the team bus. There's no swagger, no defiance, no mentality monsters. And that's what alarms supporters most. Because Klopp's Liverpool lost games, sure, but never belief. Slot's Liverpool lost both. As one fan tweeted after the Brighton defeat, "We don't even look angry anymore, just tired." We feel you, fans. Blame game and press conferences. When the press conferences start sounding like therapy sessions, you know something's wrong. Slot's post-match tone has turned increasingly defensive, blaming fitness levels, long balls, referee decisions, even the Premier League's physicality. At one point, he admitted, "Other teams are adapting better tactically than we are." That might be true, but it's not something Liverpool fans expect to hear from their manager. Imagine hearing that after a 4-0 drubbing at St James's Park. It's like waving a white flag before the whistle. Fans in the stands literally froze, unsure whether to boo or cry. Klopp, even in disaster seasons, never deflected blame. He took the hits, shielded his players, and fixed the problem. Slot seems to analyse them instead, publicly, and often awkwardly. After the Aston Villa loss, he spent 12 minutes in post-match analysis on throw-ins and referee decisions, while the real story, the team's lack of cohesion, was hardly talked about. And that creates a different kind of rot, one that eats away at dressing room morale. You can't inspire a squad by constantly explaining why you can't win. Even senior players like Fabinho and Van Dijk have reportedly expressed frustration behind closed doors, whispering to teammates that "we have no plan," a whisper that eventually leaks to fans and fuels anger on social media. Why Liverpool should sack Arne Slot. Whether or not you like Arne Slot, it's getting harder to justify keeping him. This isn't about emotion, it's about evidence. He's been given almost every tool he asked for: new players to fit his short passing system, budget approvals from the owners, and freedom to shape Liverpool in his image. But the result is devastating. 5 league defeats, a -6 goal differential, and a team that looks weaker in every department. Managers like Pep, Klopp, Arteta, and even Postecoglou solve problems. They adapt mid-season, find fixes, reinvent the system. Slot describes problems, then blames them. The best performances under him is, ironically, when Liverpool went backwards, to Klopp-style pressing, to Darwin running channels, to Robertson bombing forward. When Slot plays his own game, Liverpool are miserable on the field. And when you spend £400 million, you don't get to surrender competitions weekly. You don't get to lose to teams like Bournemouth and shrug it off as transition. That's not all. Slot's body language tells its own story. Hands folded, shoulders sunk, muttering about details, while the club's standards burn. It's not that he's a bad coach. It's that he's the wrong coach for this club right now. Liverpool needs solutions, not philosophy lectures. If I were FSG, I'd already be checking where the ejector seat button is, because the longer you wait, the deeper this spiral gets. Counterpoint. Is it too early to judge? Of course, fairness demands context. Transitions are brutal, emotionally, tactically, and even spiritually. Klopp's departure left a hole no manager could instantly fill. Some pundits argue Slot needs time to rebuild chemistry, especially after reshuffling leadership and style simultaneously. Feyenoord didn't transform overnight either. But here's the thing, patience is earned by progress, and right now, there's no progress. If results showed even a glimmer of an upward curve, fans would understand. But 5 defeats later, faith feels like fantasy. Liverpool needs a fighter, and right now Slot is just blaming and acting like a loser in front of the team and media. Closing. What Liverpool must remember. We know Liverpool's story has always been written in fire, not numbers. It's a club of belief, chaos and defiance, and those things don't survive in systems that suffocate emotion. Arne Slot came to modernise Liverpool. Instead, he's drained its pulse. Maybe he'll recover. Maybe not. But for now, fans are left wondering how a team that once conquered Europe now struggles to defeat Crystal Palace away. Liverpool don't demand perfection. They just want to feel alive again. So here's the real question. Do you think Arne Slot deserves another season, or has Anfield already seen enough? If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel for more smashing football content.